performance of the Cata show done by Jamal, who is the cutter master, accompanied by Joanne, the marketing and sales director of Balfego Group. Let's watch a little something that they prepared for us.
If you have a dream that haunts you and urges you out of bed, get out there and follow it. Sacrifice dry land. To capture what is never still, some might say you must forfeit everything you know and expect the unexpected. The ultimate tuna, the greatest delicacy salted away by the sea. We set out to find you, and it is as if we are searching for ourselves. Our heart beats and burns with the strength of 5 generations. An ancestry of dreamers that you are part of. If you are one of those who risk it all for a dream, there are few who will understand you better than us. If you wish to dazzle the gourmand, this is your chance. Effort will be forgotten, and the sacrifice will merit the price. Your dreams will awaken from their slumber, very real and realized. Do it with passion, or you will never do it. Do it until your passion becomes flame. And once you are there, don't let go, and keep dreaming. We will be by your side.
Yes, first of all, it's very important to understand what we do and what we are. Balfego is the 5th generation of fishermen of Bluefin Tuna. But first of all, I want to thank to the Vestors Award for the invitation, and to remember as Angel. It's a pleasure always to learn from you about the fish, but to remember all the people from Valencia, because we are very close. We are from 1 hour and a half by car, and it was a tragedy. We have a lot of friends and family there, and it was hard times now in Spain, and I want to remember all the people from Valencia, first of all. About Balfego, not easy now to talk. About Balfego, we are the 5th generation of fishermen of Bluefin Tuna. We are very close from Barcelona, 1 hour more or less. And we started the fishery in the 19th century. We have a lot of knowledge of this species, this fish. We only fish this tuna, with the only fish that we work, okay? And now we bet in this fishery, and we transformed the fishery, because before was the fishery was from April to September, and now we transform all the activity to have tuna in fresh all year round.
Amazing! Wow! Oh my gosh! How many kilos is that?
369.
Woo! All right.
Not easy to catch this tuna. Our average is 250, but to come here to the Vestors Awards, we want to bring a very good.
It's a big privilege. That's for sure.
And for the storm, last week we didn't go to fish, and this tuna has 8 days. It's from not this Sunday, the other one. 8 days in fresh.
Okay. Wow. All right. I guess I'm just gonna leave you to it and enjoy. Wow. Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, let's start. As I said, 369 kilos, you can see. With me is Jamal, the Cata master, and our sushi man. We will have to ask to show all the parts that we use in the Bluefin Tuna. About Balfego, as I said, we are the 5th generation of Bluefin Tuna, and we transform this fishery. Our technique is the pursein. okay? We fish the tuna alive. And then we put it in our facilities and in the agricultural infrastructure we have in 4 kilometers from the coast in La Mella de Mar. That is a small village in Tarragona that we have a strong tradition of fishery. The activity, first of all, I want to show the different type of tunas we have, okay? Because the first thing is to understand the different type of tunas, okay, to talk about this. The first one is the Tunus a la lunga, okay, it's in the Atlantic and Pacific and Indian Oceans, and we can find it too in the Mediterranean Sea. The second one, Tunus albacares, yellowfin, okay, we can find in tropical and subtropical waters, and it's found in all the major oceans, Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian. The third Tunus, because we are talking about Tunus is Tunus atlanticus, the blackfin tuna. Western Atlantic, Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and the Central and South American.
Sorry, this.
Okay, yeah.
This right here is.
Now I want to explain. Thank you. Tunus McCoy, Southern Bluefin Tuna, is a kind of, is very similar of this tuna. We can find this in the South Atlantic, Indian Ocean, and South Pacific. The Tunus ubesus, the big eye. Typical to find in Atlantic and Pacific and Indian Oceans. The Tunus orientalis, very known because it's in Japan and in the West Coast in the North America, United States and Mexico. And then the other, can you change please from there? No. The last one, can you change? Okay. The Tunus Gulf, from here, I can see Persian Gulf, the Indian Ocean, and the South China Sea, and then this one, the Bluefin Tuna. About the Bluefin Tuna Tunus tinus, there are two, okay? One is in the north of the hemispheric, close to Norway, this is where we fish, and the other one is in the south hemispheric, close to Argentina, okay? The main difference is the fat infiltration. Okay? When we fish it on May in Spain, very close to Balearic Island, what we try to do is to recover the level of fat that they lose in the migration. They come to the north of the Atlantic Ocean, to the Mediterranean Sea for the reproduction. Okay? Then, we fed them only with bluefish. We have our formula that we find, and we try to recover this level of fat. Because in the fat is the flavor, okay? That's very important for us. After, when we open the line, we can see the different colors we have. They are coming in the two tones. That's very important of the bluefin tuna, and that's why in Japan they want this bluefin tuna because the level of fat is very important. Can swim at 70 kilometers an hour. It's an athlete. It never rests. It's always swimming, and this tuna is 369. It can weigh up to 700 kilos. Okay? Last year we fished 684 kilos. Okay? And as I said, the key of the flavor is the fat infiltration. When we start this company, we built this fishery, we started fishery of the poor sage, and we keep it alive in our facilities in the 90s and beginning of the 2000. In 2004, 5, 6, and 7, we sell all the production to Japan in super frozen. Okay. After that, we create a new project, a new strategy to be in fresh in the different countries. Now we are in 45 countries selling to the best restaurants because of the consistency of the level of fat, fresh all year around, same price all the year. For example, if the tuna doesn't have a good level of fat or yake, it's not Balfegó brand. Okay? Where is Eric? Okay. Now we are open the After that we will see the head, okay? Not easy to cut this tuna, it's very difficult. Maybe we need more time. Before, one of the innovations we do was this. As you know, in the 2007, it put some quota to fish the bluefin tuna. Now the bluefin tuna, this bluefin tuna is not in the red list anymore. In 2007, we put this. Okay, you have all the information about this tuna. This is for chefs and consumers. Here is the weight, the length, the fat content, the healthy certificates, the microbiological certificates, all the information about the tuna. And this is for the chefs and for the consumers because it's very important. The other innovation was the kizime. You know the technique, you are chefs, you know better than me the technique, but we have 70 divers in our company going every day to our facilities. You send an order on Monday and you have the tuna maybe here in Dubai in Wednesday, in fresh. One shot in the head, okay? We make 2 incisions here to bleed them up, okay? And that's very important for the flavor. Then we put the tuna in our boats and in 12 seconds it's done. We put a flexibly wire in the medullary canal and then the distillation is very quickly. We don't have anisakis in our tuna. We cannot say that it's free of anisakis because it's wild tuna, but we have a database that we don't have never anisakis in our tuna. The ikijime, this is the color one, okay, very small. Here, put it there, and if you can film. Okay, you have different meats here, the kami and the otoro, okay? This is the kamatoro, very known in Japan, but for example in Europe, we are putting it in the grill. Amazing. As I said, the ikijime extends the shelf life of the tuna, reduces the fish suffering, very important too, and the quality and the texture and the flavor is better. Now, this is the iconic part of the bluefin tuna for the fat content, is the belly, the toro. It's only the 10% of the whole tuna. Now the chefs, they want a lot of toro, but some years ago, the Japanese cuisine is more typical, but now a lot of chefs are using the belly, the toro, and there is more culture now about the tuna around the world. Okay, you can see the level of fat. We know the level of fat exactly is 15%, okay? One day, some clients of us says, too much fatty, I want more fat, we put a number, okay? Now we know, for example, that in US, they want a lot of fat. In Dubai too. But for example, in Europe, we want less fatty. In China, fatty. In Korea, not fat. What we want our clients. When we fish it on May, we start selling this tuna in September to recover the level of fat. It's like the wine, okay? It's very important. If not, when we are talking about the bluefin tuna, in Spanish is atún rojo, red tuna. The tuna is pink, not red. It has the optimal level of fat. This one is the back line, is the white line, because it's very close from the toro, more fatty than the other. For example, the Japanese cuisine, they want this part a lot. In Europe, it's more difficult to us to try to explain this part because it's more fatty than the other line, the black line. The white line, the back line, here, ¿cuántos kilos puede pesar este? 45 kilos, more or less. Okay? With the line, you can use it for raw, for sure. Sashimi, smoked, marinated, grilled. Is the more common part of the bluefin. Here you have the blue line here. Normally we clean this, but here is very healthy part, very difficult to work, very strong, like meat. Applause, people, it's not easy. Not easy. 60 kilos of life. After the show you can see, because we have the coffee break, right? You can see all the parts here, okay? Then, vamos a la cabeza. Vamos a la carrillera, ¿vale? For every tuna, very special in the grill, low temperature, two, raised, still. We have a lot of recipes with this part of the tuna, very known and very used in Spain. It's like the beef cheek, you can use it in the same techniques. More elegant. A microphone, please. Marcos and Eric are our sushi men in Madrid and Barcelona. Eric, can you explain how we should cut the tuna, how we do the Japanese people? Deixa'm aquí explicar una mica.
So in Japanese style, what we want to do is to separate what would be akami at the top part and chutoro, it would be the bottom part.
Put it here because in the camera you can see the akami but not the chutoro. If you can put here. Pots posar-lo aquí? Toma. Sí, perquè es vegi. Aquí damunt si vols. Sí. Okay.
So as I was saying, here we have two different parts from the tuna. You can see the difference of the color. We have akami at the top part, and then we have chutoro in the bottom. The difference of color is because of the fat. We can see how it's more pinky at the bottom, and as it reaches the top, it goes from pink to red. The most red part, it's also the leanest. So this cut allows us to use these two different parts for different things, because in kitchen, if you have more fat, you will use the fattiest part for one thing, and then you will use the leanest part for another thing. You can also mix it, but in Japanese style, we want to use chutoro for one thing and akami for the other. We also have here what we call wakaremi in Japanese. This is like 3% of the tuna, 1% of the tuna, I don't know how much it is, but it's like the most precious.
Precious.
Thank you. The most precious part of the chutoro in Japan. And it has the fat, a bit of the wagyu style, as we can see in the otoro. Not as much as in the otoro, but that's why it's so precious. Because when we sacrifice the tuna, you can see the rigor mortis in the tuna. That means that it's like red, like almost neon red, and it's really hard, like you can't chew it actually, so you have to let it rest. You have to let the rigor mortis go away, and then you can start to see the difference of the color. The first thing you will see is the pink appearing at the bottom part, and then you will see how the red turns a little bit more dark. That's when you want to eat the tuna, not as fresh as we think should be.
It's very important, for example, in Spain they want the warm fish. They said the warm fish, and it's better to wait some days. The umami appears in 5-6 days.
Exactly.
For example, in Spain, Japanese chef Hideki in Koshunka puts the whole tuna in a fridge, 0-4 degrees, 1 month, and the color is perfect. They cut only the whole line, produce it 1 week, and the other line every week. The color is perfect, the flavor is very, very elegant in the mouth. Okay, as I said, we have a restaurant. Only if you want to share some information, we have more than 1,000 recipes about the tuna. We have all the information. We are very glad to share with you. We have an activity close to our facilities to swim, to know how we feed them, how we use the tuna, all the project we have. We were we will be very glad to invite you in our facilities. I think it's time. No, we don't have.